got your black.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Let's talk about why I resented you for loving me too much. Family, I'm Eleanor, and this is Dismissible Me, where I speak on dismissive avoidant attachment from the inside out. And when I speak about loving me too much as a dismissive avoidant person, you thought loving me harder, showing up more, doing more would bring me closer to you or get me to respond to you in a certain way, and it didn't. I resented it, as a matter of fact. And here's why that kind of love, heavy air quotes, felt like a trap instead of a connection. For me, you loving me too much, you trying to love me more, do more, just felt like pressure from you to perform. And that to perform is to show up in the way you're showing up and reciprocate and return all of the energy that you're giving to me with the exact same intensity. And just because you're showing up this way doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to show up in this way, that I'm going to be able to meet you where you're at. I don't, and nothing makes me more uncomfortable than somebody doing these things. And I understand it. And on my end, it just seems very performative, because if I'm not asking for you to show up and do these things, if I'm not asking for you to do more, to give me more, to, say more, do all these things, come on extra strong, it only comes off to me as manipulation. It never shows up as, oh, here's this person just trying to make me feel comfortable. It's always, what is their motive? It's always, what are they trying to gain from me? It's always, it's never, it just never seems genuine. And I know it's not genuine because I know what it is that I'm giving. So when you're overdoing it, it only shows up as, number one, it shows up as,
I can only take so much. I'm trying to, I always get triggered when I hear those clips. Gosh. Yeah, but there are people out there that believe the exact same way. I'm hearing the clips when you hear the clips. My gosh. Can you imagine being with someone and their real motive for being with you, their real motive for wanting to leave you is never articulated. It's never explained. Have you ever been with somebody and it was just over, y'all together, and then next thing you know, it's over? And hey, listen, I've seen the clip. I don't listen to the clips. I want to listen to them when the audience listens to them, right? But I've seen the clip. The young lady that's speaking is wearing a ski mask. Am I correct, Andy? Does she have on a ski mask? It's an image of a ski mask. Oh, wait, it ain't even her in this video? It's the image of a ski mask? Come on. So for the past 2 weeks, we've been doing a series on the unseen spiritual laws, right? That no relationship can ignore. And as I've explained before, 2 weeks is basically 8 episodes. This is episode 8, right? We could go 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. There are so many spiritual laws that you can recontextualize into relationship concepts. But I felt I needed to give more context for what I mean when I say relationships are inherently spiritual. Yes, relationships are social. They have cultural game rules. Yes. Societal game rules. Sure. I'm not here to marginalize or minimize any of those rules. But I think the rules that don't get enough attention are the spiritual rules. Right? Think about the humanities. In the American educational system, they've been moving away from the humanities for STEM. And STEM is great, right? But STEM is about mathematics and science, and it's ultimately about productivity, right? The humanities, with its various multidisciplinary approach, teaches what it means to be human. It gives voice to the human condition. Right? So think about all the children that are raised in a society that lacks its intellectual dissenting voice, right? Think of the humanities as the shadow, right? I'm talking about Carl Jung's shadow, the repository of deep human experiences taken away from government. It's just productivity. The humanities teach us empathy, right? So imagine growing up in a world that's just profit-based, right? You could see more people thinking linearly about love, thinking in a linear way about love. The humanities teach us about love. They teach us art. They teach us philosophy. Psychology is even a part, right, of the humanities. Sociology, all of that, right? So we're living in a world where you got guys like Bill Gates that are funding public educational institutions, but that money is going towards STEM. Why is it that human beings are black and white in everything they do? Why can't it be STEM and the humanities? Don't you know taking away the humanities created hip-hop? Whoa, wait a minute, Zoe. Hold on, sir. Yeah. Why do you think all those kids in hip hop shifted away from instrumentation? Remember when we were kids, we got to play the violin, we got to play the recorder, we got to play the clarinet. They started taking these things out of school. You see what I'm saying? Music is part of the humanities. The humanities teach us about the imperfect, flawed nature of the human condition. Now, you got intellects creating a government, talking about the inalienable rights of men, but they're only talking about white men who owned land. They literally had slaves that they thought were furniture or a plow. Talk about cognitive dissonance. You got the highest of the high thought process about human liberty and freedom, while at the same time you own people. And it's going to get worse, because that's where we're going when we lose the human aspect of relating, right? And it leads to tonight's topic, which is heavy. This is the final episode of the spiritual series, right? And what's so deep about tonight's episode, we talk about Carl Jung and the mask. The mask is performative, because that ain't you. We talk about the repressed shadow, where the inner child is, where all of the deep-seated issues are, right? We talk about all of these things. And many people, just like in the humanities, right? Nussbaum is her book, Martha C. Nussbaum. And I think the book is called Not for Profit. And she's breaking down how education is pushing toward this linear, mechanical, robotic, automaton-like human being to just be at the highest level of productivity. Well, our relationships are more transactional than they are, right, connection-based, more transactional than they are intimacy-based. And when I say intimacy, I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about vulnerability, right? Now, that's on the societal level. Now, take that down to the home. You got your own levels of generational curses and dysfunction that are flowing through there. So look at the attachment styles that are coming out of there. Love isn't enough. Listen, it's born from something. Love isn't enough. Maybe you needed the humanities, right, in order to understand the cultural, the ancient, the mythological, all of the stories that were ever told about love, so you can have a better understanding. So when I hear the young lady talking, I'm a little triggered, because I'm saying the humanity in that person is lost. It's like talking to Commander Data from Star Trek. Do you see what I'm saying? This is what we're becoming because we never understood the spiritual aspect of relationship. We can even call this show a study in relational humanities, right? Nobody knows how to be with a work in progress. And the moment we are unfulfilled, we are dissatisfied, somebody betrays us, the secrets within us begin to build. Oof. The law of hidden eyes. Even when no one is watching, you are seen. All thoughts and deeds are but mere echoes in the spiritual realm. Uh-oh. The great Krishnamurti said, the observer is the observed. You think because you got away with the lie. You think because you didn't truly express your true feelings that it goes unnoticed or unrecorded. Relationality as spiritual surveillance and the collapse of the egoic witness. No moment escapes the ineffable witness. No thought disappears. Even when others fail to watch, conscious records across multi-dimensions beyond personality, outside of time, is still being recorded. Not by a punishing deity, not by a judging partner, but by the field. Self-aware, recursive, holographically entangled. The law of hidden eyes confronts the most sacred of human illusions: privacy, individuation, and the myth of separateness. On tonight's topic, we're going to inquire, right? And we're going to reject spiritualism that demands comfort and coddling. Instead, we're going to expose how most relational dynamics originate from unresolved trauma, unconscious repetition compulsions, and the ego's frantic need to confirm its own disguise. Where conventional love stories promise connection, tonight's topic uncovers energetic recursion. Where therapists speak of attachment, this work identifies addiction, ritualized attempts to control egoic annihilation through human proxies. You think you got away with it, but spirit recorded it not only in the field, but in your spirit. When we come forward, the voice of reason will continue this barbecue.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What make you? Yeah.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
Catch Prep is now enrolling for summer credit recovery in fall 2025. As South Los Angeles' top-performing high school in English, math, and college access, Catch Prep is welcoming all 9th through 12th graders to enroll now. Catch Prep offers a small, supportive, and safe learning environment to help all students succeed, so that all students feel valued, respected, and motivated to reach their full potential. For the past 20 years, Catch Prep has helped more students of color gain admission to top-tier universities, with our graduating seniors earning a total of $3 million in scholarships, more than any other school in Los Angeles. We are dedicated to helping all students turn your college dreams into reality. Catch Prep is now enrolling. Visit us online at catchhighschool.com or call 323-293-3917. Spaces limited. Please enroll now for summer credit recovery and fall 2025. Call 323-293-3917 or enroll today at catchhighschool.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833 That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. The Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you have a gap between the observer and the observed, then there is a time interval, and during that time interval, other factors enter, conflict arises, and so on. Therefore, it is imperative to remove this gap. Otherwise, you cannot observe actually the present. You get it? You see the logic of it at least. So, is that possible? That is, the observer, who is the past being knowledge, his experience, his hurts, his demands, his ideologies, his memories, and the actual fact, which is the present consciousness, in which may be included the past and the future. So is it possible to observe without the interval, the gap? You understand my question? That is, I want,
Man, Krishnamurti, man, don't bring Murti up in there. Uncle Hurti, Baba Hurti, Krishna Hurti, he gonna tell you the truth. Y'all know what it is. Krishnamurti don't play no reindeer games. Rudolph is not allowed. Krishnamurti, man. I love it though. And I started this whole movement 3 years ago by quoting him first. It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, suggests that conforming to a flawed or dysfunctional society does not equate to genuine well-being. We live in a society now that says love is a verb. Love is transactional. Right? We live in a society that does not appreciate the humanities, which teaches the human condition, the flawed human condition through multidisciplinary studies, right? History, philosophy, sociology, early childhood development. They're teaching about what it means, art, what it means to be a human being. Hip hop born out of a lack of the humanities. We're not playing instruments, we're sampling records now. That's our artistry. And it's wonderful because our spirit was still creative. But what I'm saying is, as time has moved on, it's 2025. And now, everything is for profit. Even when you're using spiritual parlance. Don't disturb my peace. Bringing something to the table. You need to show up right. Wait a minute. Everything is transactional. And when it doesn't line up in the way that you think it should, I ain't got time for this. Ghosting is omission because you don't have the courage to tell the truth about how you feel. Because you don't live in a society that cultivates feeling. Men have lived this life for quite some time. You're not a man if you feel. You're not a man if you sit down and process what you've been through. Huh? So now we're in a space of conformity. Call any of our psychologist friends. Dr. Shalonda Sunshine Crawford, right? Dr. Jashana Johnson. Call any of the KBLA Talk 1580 psychologists, and they will tell you humans in mass tend to follow. Conformity is part of the movement. So this big, beautiful bill is stripping out support. Why? Because it lacks empathy. We're being cultured to live without love, to live without empathy. I'm going to tell you right now, government is a big, dangerous, monstrous machine without the humanities, without empathy, without kindness, without understanding, without this multidisciplinary study base that causes you to be a conscious dissenter through intellectual discourse. Do you see? So now, we don't get what we want, so we hide who we are. But can we hide from every eye? When I come forward, we gonna find out.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The House is sending President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill to his desk.
We're just ready to get it done and deliver this product for the people, so we're excited about it.
Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries spoke for over 8 hours trying to stall the vote, but Republicans secured enough support to move forward. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is leading early in a possible 2026 California governor's race. A new UC poll shows Harris with 24% support, but 40% of Californians say they're still undecided. Harris, who once served as state attorney general and senator, is considering a run to replace Governor Gavin Newsom. And Donasia Yancey, founder of Boston's Black Lives Matter chapter, is still employed by the city months after a felony assault arrest in April. She's on unpaid leave from her role as deputy director in the LGBTQ+ office, where she made $116,000 last year. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it! Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. We know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gyms with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops, I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
One of the biggest pains that we experience as a human being is not feeling seen, heard, and understood by others. So many times we feel misunderstood, judged, and we don't get the opportunity to express how we're really feeling. Inspired from a client session, how can you create an experience where you feel seen and heard and understood by you? My client wasn't sure.
I don't want to stop her, but I gotta, because she's inspiring me. We are living in a giant masquerade ball. Most of us are wearing a mask and demanding people be transparent. Cognitive dissonance. Most of us are living lies. And I don't mean living a lie, I mean a living embodiment of falsehood. We are living secrets, even when we get close to people. A big secret. People don't even really know how we truly feel. Either it's because I'm walking on eggshells, I can't really talk to you, I don't feel seen or heard, I don't feel like I can share. It's all a lie. Carl Jung said people are wearing masks. The mask is the persona. Love has become performative. It's all an act. When you relate to another, you often perform a projection. You animate a mirage built from unmet developmental needs, proverbial wounding, and psychic distortions inherited from ancestral and cultural scripts. You rarely see your partner. You see your abandoned self wearing their face. Intimacy in this light appears less like love and more like a survival strategy. Krishnamurti's radical insight, the observer is the observed, does not describe a poetic metaphor, but a neurological and spiritual collapse of subject-object duality. Every accusation you launch, every judgment you conceal, every compliment you offer carries a fingerprint from your own unresolved spirit. Projection does not occur occasionally. It defines the default relational mode. The partner does not reflect a separate soul. They reflect you. As a whole, the whole you, the mask and the shadow that you try to hide. Not the you post online, but the repressed, exiled, inconvenient self-state you pretend to transcend. According to this law, conscious registers of intention, whether spoken or not, will be revealed. What hides within the self leaks into the field. Your need to feel seen often reveals an unwillingness to look inward. You want to be seen, but you're still hiding stuff. The part of you that matters the most. People don't even like meaning anymore. They want experience. They want excitement, stimulation. They're choosing stimulation over meaning all the time because meaning don't always feel good. If you got a code switch in your relationship, you should be single. You should go celibate. Your guilt may not signal wrongness. It may reflect a resonance mismatch between your conduct and your higher signal. Your betrayals remain unknown, even when no human remembers. You perform them into a field that records frequency, not story. In trauma theory, as illuminated by Babette Rothschild and Patrick Carnes, the body stores memory without permission. Nervous systems function as archival instruments, sort of shadow librarians, transmitting encrypted information through gesture, posture, and reaction. Every attraction may signal a trauma loop in search of re-entry. Every rejection may replay a moment when the psyche split to survive. Relationships under this framework function as initiation sites where the unintegrated memory reenacts itself under the false banner of romance or chemistry. The hidden law, the law of hidden eyes, tears through spiritual bypass and therapeutic platitudes. It reveals how false desire often conceals deep self-abandonment. I want you often means I cannot tolerate my own presence. I forgive you often masks I have numbed myself enough to pretend. Love, when stripped of fantasy and script, no longer appears noble. It appears terrifying. It asks for total transparency. It demands the death of the manipulative self who relates in order to survive, seduce, or extract. When I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, it's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. Are you tired of stains stealing your shine? California Cleaners is where you go to rescue your wardrobe. They don't just clean, they elevate. Hand washing, crisp laundry, and precise alterations, all while keeping your wallet happy. Listen, all you gotta do is connect with them in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Whether it's grass-stained jeans, silk that's seen better days, or a hemline emergency before date night, you're on deck with California Cleaners, located at 1326 North La Brea Avenue, Inglewood, California.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. I do not consider myself a fan of Sean Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Love, Brother Love Combs. But one doesn't have to be a fan to acknowledge a simple truth about his recent jury trial. I think the primary reason he was acquitted of those sex trafficking and RICO charges is because he was overcharged in the first place. Mine is not to opine on his guilt or innocence on any of the charges the feds brought against him. But I predicted months ago that he would beat the most serious charges because, as usual, prosecutors have a really bad habit of overcharging black men. Dave Chappelle said it best, Puffy is in a RICO case all by himself, man. Hilarious and arresting at the same time. When prosecutors put a target on the backs of black men, they throw everything at them just to see what sticks. And too often, just like in the Puffy case at the very end, they move to dismiss some of the charges and then double down on the ones they think they can win. It's racist and it's wrong, and somebody ought to say so. I think I just did. Not for the benefit of Puffy, but on behalf of all the other black men who have been and sadly will be woefully overcharged in the future. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
You want some more? It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So when we are codependent, that basically means that we have a lack of selfhood, that we are walking through life without really knowing who we are. But to me, the real tragedy is that we don't know it. When I was a young girl, when I was dating, when I got engaged to my ex-husband, when I married him, when I walked down the aisle and I knew I was making the biggest mistake of my life, I just didn't have the data or the life skills to face my feelings. I think our intuition is always telling us when something is wrong. And I think because of childhood trauma and because of childhood emotional neglect, we have learned to distrust those inner instincts, and that is a tragedy. But the good news is that we can learn how to take this spiritual and emotional and cognitive U-turn and come back home to the self, and we can learn to honor our intuition and get back in touch with our authentic feelings so that we can operate from the most authentic aspects of ourselves. When we are codependent, we don't know that we're codependent most of the time. We don't know that we have a loss of selfhood. We are so wrapped up and we are so hypervigilant. Much of the time we have CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which basically means that as a child, you could not escape your trauma. When you have a traumatic experience, as it is with post-traumatic stress disorder, it's usually related to one event. So one tragic event that you could not process emotionally.
Lisa, hey, y'all better tap in if you don't know. Lisa Romano. She was cooking with the rarest grease right there, and she's talking about, like, you know, just being kind of a little disconnected from who you really are, your authentic self, wearing a mask. You keep the real you a secret, and you think it can't be seen. But there is psycho-spiritual leakage into the field. Have you ever walked into a store and there was just somebody there that had a presence and an energy that make you say, let me get on away from this person? Oh, the leakage into the field. It's a real talk. We got callers from all over the country. Let's get them in here right now. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The nation wants to speak. Starting with Sean from Oakland, California. Sean, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, I'm going to keep it as best I can on topic, is that people need to understand that you need to check in with other people as a community. You need to make sure that they're checking back with you and make sure that, you know, you are moving the ball forward in a community way. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, you know, when it comes to, you know, all these trivial things, you know, my family did this, my family did this, we have to understand that we all go through serious trauma, mm-hmm. all of us, mm-hmm. for human beings, right?
Right.
And we all go through it. We're all going to go through trauma. We're going to all go through crisis, mm-hmm. but it'll be different. Like your kid might have cancer. That's probably the worst. Your kid may have autism. That's probably the next in line. Mm-hmm. And then you may have other things regarding your lot in life. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing is that as you're going through all this stuff, make sure to check in with the people you love and make sure that you try to give them reinforcement and you know, make sure to say, hey, I'm here for you the best I can be, mm-hmm. Whether it be family or friends, because that's what I do. And I think it's a good strategy, because I think most people think everything's nicer on the other side of the fence. It's not. Everyone, whether you have money or not, it's not that good. You know, everyone has to deal with what goes on in this world, and you need to check in with them and make sure that they know that you are part of their support group.
Sean, I appreciate the insight, man. Thank you so much. You already know what you just did, right?
Love you, brother.
Yes,
Oakland house.
Yeah, we love you too, Sean. Oakland is the first on the board. Oakland, California, town business. You know what it is. If you want to bring your city into the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let's slide down to Houston, Texas. Attila is on the line. Attila Phillips, my niece. What up, Attila?
Hola.
What are your
up,
thoughts?
dog?
What are your thoughts, man? We acting up on this series now. What are your thoughts?
So something that I started thinking about with the first clip, the lady, Dismissible Me, the skeezy mask lady.
Mm-hmm.
The way she speaks, it reminds me of like how we kind of treat relationships like a business, like a transaction.
Yeah.
But one of the synonyms for business is an entity, right?
Ooh, don't do that. I remember The Entity was a scary movie back in the day where it was a ghost raping a woman. This is crazy. This was a movie.
Yeah.
Now. Is that what you're talking
about? The parallels.
Oh,
but think about like the parallels there, like with entities. Like, what do? They extract from their host, right?
Ooh, Lord.
Like, and businesses do the same. They employ the same strategies, right? Like, they create the issue and then, become the solution, basically, right? And I think we do one another like that. Like, we see, how do I say this? I think everyone has a certain level of spiritual sight, some more than others. So for those that are predators or entities, right, they can see what issues you have and they magically become your solution. So just like a business can become the solution to your problem, I believe that your shadow can unearth your insecurity and that becomes your solution. It's like, you have this issue with the way that you look. Let's put on this mask to solve it.
Wow. So wait a minute, because you're blowing my mind now. My mind is moving now. Hold on.
No, I'm sorry.
Don't you know that a corporation is a legal, fictitious person? According to the 14th Amendment, right? A corporation is now a legal person, a legal fictitious person. Now, do you know what's ill about that? People get corporations to do business. Now people are doing business like corporations when it comes to intimacy.
Yes, Lord.
Do you? Oh, this is terrible.
It is. It's really sad, and I feel like at the crux of a lot of this is that we buy into our own insecurities. We let other people tell us what to be secure about. We let other people tell us what to be insecure about, which is why you find yourself scrolling on social media. This is why beauty is such a big industry. There's so many industries that are huge just based off of the fact that they're convincing you that you lack something. And in truth, what you're really lacking is that internal safety within. So you're seeking it externally. This is why you got to go and get your eyebrows done, your nails done, your hair done. Who really cares? I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, if nobody would see it, would you still do it?
No. It needs to be acknowledged. Another source of vindication, more supply, right?
Right. And there's the catch-22 because that also makes you vulnerable to exploitation.
Wow.
If I can convince you to buy into your own insecurity, then I can convince you to buy into my control as well.
You buying into control? Is that what? Talk to me, niece.
I mean, I feel like we're, at the end of the day, like, you're either going to be someone who is willfully ignorant, right, or spiritually blind. There's really no other way around that. So I think, or you're going to be somebody who can see, whatever the case may be. But I feel like we all have a choice. And at the end of the day, as long as you love your insecurities more than you love your freedom, I mean, like, I think that's just kind of how it's going to be. So, I mean, like, even when you think about relationships and you see people at the start of their relationship versus 5 years later, right, what do you think what's the line of demarcation between a relationship that has grown in a healthy way versus one that has not, other than whether or not they're still together?
So listen to what you listen. Your relationship can't grow if your wound has a leadership position, not only in your life, but in the life of the relationship. The wound has to be demoted, but not demoted in a negative sense. Demoted in the sense of you are no longer at the forefront of my life, driving my life, steering my life, guiding my life.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to take that wound and I'm going to bring it into my spiritual bosom by loving on it. By accepting it, by acknowledging it, by appreciating that. You know, I appreciate the wound. It wasn't, you didn't ask to be here. I'm loving on it empathetically, compassionately, right? Then that wound starts to lose its power and its authority.
Yes.
Do you see?
100%. 100%.
Do you see?
And
Coping,
think, you know,
but
like,
wait a minute, hold on. You got me going now. Coping mechanisms are the legislation that the wound writes. They become the laws of your life. Do you see? This is too much. We got to stop the wayward wound by letting it mold who we think we are. Stay right there. Don't go no further. Listen. Hey, we on fire tonight. This is the last episode in our spiritual relationships. The nature of relationships are inherently spiritual. You've been hearing me talk about it. This is episode 8. It's been on complete fire. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. The House is sending President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill to his desk.
We're just ready